Shalom, all your praises on and glory to Yahweh, Shema Shai, Hashem Kakadash, and the ones and the others and apostles of great Muslim to much truth, and peace, blessing, and salutation to the whole full it. And yeah, we got this division here. I see it says a man shares dream of WW3. Yeah, let's play it. Heck of the time. All praises to Yahweh, Shema Shai.
Hi people, so today is Tuesday, November 18th, and it is about 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I got a message from my brother that he had a dream that was very, very interesting, and I tell you why in a little bit. But I would like to read the dream. It's a very chaotic and catastrophic dream about judgment on America. Let me read. It says,
Spiral. And it says here, Jeremiah 51:11. May bright arrows being the missiles. Basically, fire them off. Gather the shields. Basically, raise the defenses. The Lord of raised the spirit of the king of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon, to destroy it. Because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. His temple being his elect.
in the dream I was at the kitchen washing a cup when all of a sudden I started to float and was taken up high enough to see the entirety of the USA. I then was taken to Manhattan, where I descended low enough to see many people walking in the streets and people in their office working. It was a normal day, everything was fine. All of a sudden I looked towards the ocean and saw a large missile coming out of the water in extreme high speed. I could see some people
What's the scripture called? Jeremiah 15:29 says, "Call together the archers against Babylon, be in America, all ye that bend the bow." So all those that have a nuclear capability camp against it round about. As it says, camp against it round about. Meaning, they're going to be around Babylon. They're going to fire their missiles upon Babylon or America. Let none of escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done. Do unto her, for she have been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. So yeah, man. The Lord set these things off. Oh, crazy. I hope actually, man, I should look at that one. I didn't want to stop at that time. 144. That's a sign of hope.
People looking out the window, and instantaneously their eyes were melted. I was immediately taken to a higher altitude.
They just talking about flying. And even then he wasn't flying. He was being beaten up by the chariots. Revelation 11:12, it says, "And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, being a chariot. And the enemies beheld them." So, yeah, dudes flowing around in the sky, being beamed up in the chariot. What was the scripture? What was he saying?
Altitude to see the impact of the missile.
Oh, yeah. Zechariah. Is it Zechariah 12:14? Or maybe it's 14:12. Yeah, here we go. "And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that fall against Jerusalem, being the Israelites. The flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and the eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth." So they're going to be burnt up, man.
When it hit Manhattan, it was dead on. I could see a large ball of fire growing rapidly horizontally, and people were the impact of the people looking out the window, and instantaneously their eyes were melted. I was immediately taken to a higher altitude to see the impact of the missile. When it hit Manhattan, it was dead on. I could see a large ball of fire growing rapidly.
As I said, it was dead on. As if as strong as his right hand that bends the bow, his arrows, those missiles that he shooteth are sharp. And that word sharp going into sharpshooter, meaning these missiles are highly accurate and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Yes, so from one nation to another. That's why the missiles are called ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Growing rapidly horizontally, and people were evaporating, and the buildings melting. After that, I was taken to Florida.
The buildings are melting. That's a lake of fire. That's a lake of fire, man. Or is it 20 and 22? As it says, Ezekiel 22 and 20 says, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tins in the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to mount it, so will I gather you in mine anger and my fury, and I will leave you there and mount you. So yeah, they're going to be mounted, and even the buildings are mounted too. He says, yeah, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and you shall be mounted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst of, and you shall know that I, the Lord, have poured out my fury upon you. So yeah, they're gonna know it was the Lord that did it.
The city looked like it was Miami. I was taken this time to the beach and was floating very low, almost touching the sand. I could see many people at the beach. I could see the city, the beautiful buildings behind the people in the beach. I could also see people in their offices working, also just like in Manhattan. Again, just a normal day. But again, I saw a large missile coming out of the ocean extremely fast. And once again, as it came up, it came down.
Oh, that scripture. Yeah, bitter like wormwood. Yeah, verse 10. It says, and the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven. And you're going to that missile, and burning as if it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of water. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. And so the waters were nuclear radiated, and even then, the submarines are going to be there as well. The submarines are going to fire off their missiles too. They can house nuclear missiles, man. Or you could say nuclear warheads.
Down on the beach, right where the water reached the dry sand and right in front of me. I was taken up again and could see a large ball of fire spreading horizontally and consuming everything. Since the missile hit the beach, that ball of fire went towards the ocean and destroyed many boats and large ships. I also saw a lot.
See what I mean? The radiation spread over the water. And that's how the waters became better. Like wormwood.
Large wave pushed towards the ocean due to the explosion. Once again, I was taken to a very high altitude that I could see the entire USA in the Pacific Ocean. Out of the Pacific Ocean, 4 large missiles came out. They hit California, Washington, New Mexico, and Illinois. I saw the large balls of fire again, and they consumed everything. As these 4 missiles hit the areas, I mentioned that
I said, but yeah, 2 Peter 3 and 10, it says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that therein shall be burnt up. So yeah, man. Like as I said, the buildings, the rocks, everything that's in Babylon, when America is going to be melted, and going to melt with fervent heat, which is going to come from those intercontinental ballistic missiles.
That's when I heard a voice. The voice said to me, I'm showing these things because America's Judgment Day will be happening very soon. I'm going to destroy her. But the ones that are mine, I will spare their lives. Instantly, I was in the wilderness. I was no longer floating. I could see many trees and some clearance in the skies as well. Suddenly, a wall of fire came down, encircled the whole forest, and then a roof of fire came down and sealed us in there, protecting us from destruction. And that's how the dream ended.
Oh, the China.
It's interesting that my brother sent this message to me, and then I was just with my wife sitting down, just hanging out.
That was definitely sent by the Lord, man. Everything is saying I can go into this book and forget it. Isaiah 26. Kingdom is protected by the chariot, man. Isaiah 26 and 20 says, Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, be in a safe place, and shut the doors about thee. Hide ourselves as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast, and until that destruction is over. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth with their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain.
And I got the remote and went to Netflix, and I don't watch much TV or many movies at all, but I was just looking, scrolling, if you will. And there was a movie, I believe the name was The House of Dynamite. And I started watching a little bit. I didn't like the plot, or it was too slow in knowing a little bit of the military like I do. I didn't agree with certain things. But something very interesting about that movie was that there was a missile that was launched against the US. According to the movie, it was the third one. Two were just...
You see the third world war, man. I'm telling you, this was some of the Lord. Revelation 11 and 14 says the second war is past. And behold, the third war cometh quickly. That third destruction, that third war, man.
tests, and the missile came out of the Pacific and fell on the Pacific. But this third missile that the movie talks about actually was a nuclear head and was going towards Chicago, and they couldn't stop it. So I didn't watch the whole movie, so I just forwarded to the end, and they didn't show the explosion, but they showed the complete desperation of people. And when I got first my brother's text about his dream, and then I saw that movie in a warhead, a nuclear warhead, hitting Chicago. Look, we all know the world feels extremely different Very different. Let's be ready. Let's be ready.
And the only way to get ready is to follow your Yahweh Shema Shai. That's it, man. And have faith. That's literally it. What was this dude talking about again? Oh yeah, the missiles. They couldn't be stopped. That's what he said. It's not still out too. And faces that fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The fire that's in front, being a nuclear warhead, and the flame that burns from behind is the propulsion system that causes the missiles to fly. There's the lands that the God is eating before them, so the signs of life, inhabitants, beauty, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. You see, nothing shall escape them, man. These missiles are going to hit what they're supposed to hit. Why? Because the Lord has sent them. The weapons of his indignation. But yeah, my hope was edifying. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Hashai. Bashem Makakadash. And Shalom.